Alright guys, welcome back to another Arcade1Up Infinity Game Table video. In the video we're taking a look at today, we're looking at the 3 new games recently released by the Arcade1Up team here. We're looking at Claytime Swat, we're looking at Color Spinner Puzzle, and we're also going to be looking at Table Trivia. So let's go ahead and get into the video.
Gaming tech, eating brekkie is the gaming tech. Going for a brekkie is the gaming tech. Gaming tech is the gaming tech. Gaming techie.
Alright guys, so the first game we're taking a look at here is Claytime Swat, as you guys are looking at here. It is a single player game. You can see here it says swat the bugs, don't let the bugs scurry past you alive, swat the worms to increase the score multiplier, swat the spider to get a bonus. Spider bonuses, subtract 3 seconds, squirming worms join the infestation. So you got all these different abilities that the spider bonuses give you. And here we go with wave 1. So essentially we're just trying to get the high score here. And you're just trying to hit these bugs as they come across to splat them, as you guys are looking at here. Splat them. Basically just hitting them as fast as possible. There's some health there for us. There's a multiplier for us. Essentially, you're just hitting everything on screen, even though it gave you a lot of information there in the beginning. You essentially want to hit everything. Now you can slow down and kind of hit everything. So you can kind of see what the game is actually like. You're just swatting these bugs. I'm sure kids will get a kick out of this one. Obviously, this is more of an arcade experience of a game as opposed to, you know, a board game, but it does work really well. As you can see here, there's no lag when I actually touch the screen. It seems to work really well to actually spot these. You're not, like, you know, messed up by any of the lag or anything like that. It seems to work really well. Going for your high score there and swatting them. As you can tell, they get faster and faster, and it will get harder as you're going through waves to try and keep them all kind of going. But I'll let you guys explore this, as I said. As you can see, I'm doing pretty well. But that is what that game is like on the Infinity Game Table. The next one we wanted to take a look at here is Color Spin Puzzle. So this is a single player puzzle game for those of you guys who like logic and brain teasers and stuff like that. This is what this game is like. It says right here, hold and rotate the wheel until the chips on it match with their colors. As you guys can see there. So we're essentially rotating until all the pieces actually match. So of course I would go over here, and now you can see that all the colors match to what they're supposed to. Excellent. Now drag the chips to complete the line. So you just drag the chips over. Almost done, but the orange chip is still not in the right place. Rotate the center wheel to fix this. So then you're going to rotate this one over here and then move it forward, just like that. Congratulations, you finished the tutorial. Press the button to start a new game. So we're going to go ahead and start a new one here. Here you can choose the puzzle difficulty, press scramble button and try to solve it by yourself. So you can see here when you start a new game, it gives you a new puzzle. The clock over here doesn't actually start until you actually like start touching the actual board and actually move something like you see there. Now the clock starts. You also have leaderboard support where you can see the leaderboards there to try and keep track of local leaderboards and see how fast you solve certain things. And then you also have this here that gives you like a clue, and then this here that kind of moves it forward and stuff. You have your settings options here, gives you you know, different things. You can see the donut, the pie, and the pizza, which give you different variations of 3 different types of puzzles and logic puzzles that you're trying to solve. Choose a puzzle and trap scramble. Move the wheels by holding and rotating. Chips can be moved by tapping or dragging. To complete the puzzle, you need to place the chips at the slots according to their colors and the symbols as shown in the pictures below. So you can see the donut here, we have to put them in the actual colors that they belong in. The pie, same thing, and then the symbols there on the pizza. So if you guys are fans of logic puzzles, this will definitely keep you busy, especially since they scramble and it's kind of infinite because they're always going to be scrambled and never in the same exact order, and you're always going to be manipulating things to try and get them in the same spot here. So you can manipulate these to try and go around and try to do these logic puzzles. I'm terrible at logic puzzles. I would be 100% honest. I'm really bad at logic puzzles, and it's not usually my cup of tea, but there is a lot here to kind of get you involved with doing this and kind of getting this done correctly here to, you know, get this going. And solving these logic puzzles, and you have your local leaderboard support, and you have a good variety. So if you're a puzzle fan, like I said, or a brain teaser fan, this is definitely going to be the game for you, even though it's not my cup of tea. There's a lot of people out there who love puzzles, and it's great to see a game like this that kind of has infinite replay value, because obviously, the puzzles are always being scrambled, and you have a good variety there if you're into these type of brain teasers to play with. Now, this next game here is called Table Trivia, and it's definitely my favorite game of the three that we're talking about here, and something that I can actually see myself playing, especially with family and friends. And it's very different than the other trivia games on the table. We obviously have Trivia Pursuit on this table, and we have another trivia game on here. Both are which fantastic in their own way, but this one does something different. As you guys are seeing here on the main menu, you actually have to download an app on the actual on your phones, because it does use your phone. Think of it like Jackbox and type games, if you guys have heard of that series before. And essentially, you have to download an app. So we're going to go ahead and use the camera here. I'm going to be using an iPad just to show you guys. And it's asking me to scan that QR code, so I'm just going to go ahead and scan that QR code. It's asking me to open up the website. So it's going to take me exactly to the App Store here, where you download a free app, as you guys are going to see here in a second. Once it loads, you can see it's called Table Trivia. Obviously free to download, and I've already downloaded it on my phone, but we're doing my iPad here just because that's where I'm showing it off right now. And then all you have to do is you have to make sure, obviously, everybody's on the same Wi-Fi. So if this tablet has to obviously be on the same Wi-Fi as whatever the Infinity game table's on. So everyone's on the same Wi-Fi network. We'll let this download here for a second. Now you can see the app is downloaded here, so we're going to go ahead and launch it on our tablet. And you can see it's really simple interface. It just has enter your name and join game. So I'm just going to go ahead and type in my name here. And then you can see here, as soon as I type in my name and I just hit join game, it's going to ask you to allow access to a local network, because of course it needs to be able to access your local network. And this is waiting for a game to start. As you can see there on the top left, it says now one player has joined. Everyone has 25 seconds to join. Of course, I don't have anyone else here to join right now, but you can still play with one player and just try to go for, play the trivia game by yourself if you want to. Of course, it'd be more fun if you're playing with others. But this is really cool because you don't have to worry about using the interface of the tablet and having everyone scrunched over. You can kind of just use it as a big screen to kind of showcase the trivia questions, but everyone is privately answering things on the iPhone or iPads and stuff. Kind of what we've been asking for other games on the Infinity game table, the ones that have hidden information like spades and stuff. Instead of using blockers, they need to make an app like this where everyone can have their hidden information on here while the tablet is used for everything else. And that's kind of what this game is doing here. Where it says right here, in which language did the term vampire originate? And then it gives you the 4 possible answers right here on the tablet. Nice little colorful interface here. And you kind of just pick one, as you can see. I got that wrong. And it kind of makes a noise on your tablet and on your devices when you get it wrong with the X there, which is fun. And then it obviously goes to the next question, and then you're just kind of going through and getting ready and kind of playing this. What's nice about this game is that there's over 5,000 questions, so you're not going to run out very easily. And you can see you're playing 12 questions, and then you're trying to get the highest score in 12 questions. And this is the USA version. What's really cool, actually, is that they actually have 2 versions of this game, which is really nice. Which the US version, which is the version I have, because, of course, I'm located in the US. But if you go to the game store, you can also see here under new games that they have a UK version as well. You can see the US version is the one I own, and then they have a UK version. The game does cost $10, and then you can see here, these are now questions that are kind of geared towards the UK. And you can see that they also have 5,000 questions for the UK. Same thing that the US has, which is interesting for everyone who has this in the UK, which is nice. And you can play with up to 12 players, as you can see there, when you play these games. So I think this is really cool. It definitely showcases a different idea of what the Infinity game table can do, where it can kind of show you the questions and then have everyone download an app. This is something I hope the Infinity game table team is maybe working on for some of their games, having an app where you can kind of play spades and have the cards on your iPad, iPhone, or Android, and then have the cards show up on the table. That way everyone has their hidden information. They have a few games on here that could benefit from that. As opposed to using those blockers and stuff, which are fine, but using an iPhone would be obviously much better. And this is a great way to do things. This is not made by them. This is made by a third party, as you can see here, developed by Sabec Ltd. But either way, it's something that I hope that they consider for their own games. But this is really good to see. Very different from some of the other trivia games. 5,000 questions seems to be a good amount to get people to play for a while, which is really nice. So if you guys are trivia fans and you have a lot of people over and stuff, this is a really cool game to kind of showcase on your Infinity Game Table. And it's definitely my favorite one that has come out here recently, and especially out of these three that we're talking about. Now, of course, we're all waiting for the next big board game to come out from the Arcade1Up Infinity Game Table. We'll see what that board game will be. We're all still waiting to have, a true board game to kind of be played on here. I'm sure they have something in the works that we'll all be excited about here shortly. And I can't wait to see what that board game will be. But it's still cool to see some of these games kind of drop on here when they're done really well, like this one here. So, if you guys have any questions about anything you guys have seen in today's video, guys, as always, leave it down below. If not, thank you guys for watching. Till next time.